Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I am back in America from my Sweden trip, and today I'm going to talk about I finally was able to see Bad Batch Season 3, Episode 14, Flash Strike. And I'm going to tell you my thoughts. And like last video, I'm going to tell you what happened, my thoughts to that, what I think is going to happen next episode, and ask you a few questions what you think about it. So if you do want to see the where else the series will go after this series of thought videos, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when they come up, and I'm not just individually sending, hey, look at this video I made, look at this video I made. Let's actually kind of let the algorithm do what the algorithm does, and you get to help your boy, and I get to help you smile, giggle, or maybe think how Star Wars could maybe be getting better, maybe not, you know? But as always, we're fans, and when something we love is kind of messing up, I consider it our responsibility to kind of call out Star Wars when it's messing up. And I'll try my best not to be itching my hair like I have been for the past videos, so I apologize about that. Now then, what happens in this episode? Well, it's kind of predictable, actually, after what happened last episode. So in this episode, it starts out with the Bad Batch detaching themselves from the ship that they kind of piggybacked on, and they landed a bit roughly. And when I mean a bit roughly, it was actually kind of surprising how 6 ships showed up to escort the ship that they were on. Kind of blasted the ship that they were using quite a bit, forcing them to crash land it into the forest down below. And as the batch did that, they were able to properly rappel safely into the forest down below. However, one of them got split up, and one of them that got split up was Echo. He was on the main ship that they were attached to, not the ship underneath. So he was able to actually go sail on in nice and easy and smooth via just knocking out a trooper and then donning his costume. While the rest of the batch crash land, and with the Admiral being as helpful as ever, and when I mean as helpful as ever, I mean, oh my god, what are you doing? This is not going to go well. Oh. Basically making the same noises he's been making every episode he's been on so far in Season 3. And the batch is kind of looking at him and like, okay, so how about you just shut up for this one day and actually listen to us, and you will actually survive. How about that, my guy? It worked as well as you expected it. When they crash land, they start kind of brainstorming, okay, how are we going to go in there? The Admiral just happens to be like, oh, cool, fine, don't listen to me. I'm just going to sit down and try to catch my breath. During a little bit of rewind in between when he sits down, there's this kind of little back and forth he has with Crosshair. He's kind of looking at Crosshair like, oh, you're the one who always said, guess I'll just follow orders. What are you doing here? I mean, you agree that this is messed up. Crosshair is like, well, yeah, this whole situation is messed up. You're right. But the Empire betrayed me. And you. Which is honestly kind of a cool line from Crosshair. And it seems like the Admiral thinks he could try to turn Crosshair back into the Empire with him. At least that's what this episode this episode is kind of implying. But even then, with the hard turn Crosshair did to the batch in Season 1, was given in Season 2, and during this season did to the Empire, I don't think it's going to go well for the Admiral. There's going to be it's probably going to help build into a hard, join back me, brother, and I'll make sure you don't get betrayed again, which I'm kind of expecting from the Admiral to Crosshair. And Crosshair is probably going to be like in a future episode, yes, no, bye, Admiral. That's what I'm expecting. So, going back to what actually happens next. Sorry, just have pointed that out. Had to point that out. as the Admiral sits down, listening to the Bad Batch try to figure out what to do next, he happens to sit by a waking up kind of badger bear creature, which the design is actually really cool. So I'm going to give the episode props there on a cool new space creature we haven't seen before. I'm going to call it the Badger Bear until we actually get a name from the episode, which hopefully will be next episode. The Badger Bear wakes up, kind of turns on the Bad Batch, and does what most cranky animals do when it wakes up: attacks the Batch. During which, at the beginning, the Admiral is like, "Oh my God! Shoot it quick! Shoot it quick!" The Batch is like, "Yeah, but shooting it, it's actually going to give away our position." But the bear attacks, and now it turns into kind of a fleeing the Badger Bear. Meanwhile, there are troopers also in the forest trying to find the Batch, and the noise of the Badger Bear trying to go after the Batch is kind of making it easier for them, let's be honest here. During the Badger Bear attack, the Admiral gets separated from the Batch and gets kind of captured or found by the troopers looking for them, and our boy Wrecker gets hit with a giant claw strike that hits the eyebrow area of his helmet and his chest piece pretty hard. The chest piece seemed to take most of the damage, forcing him hard into a tree that he needed help getting up from. That doesn't bode well, and that's not a good foreshadowing, but fellow Wrecker fans, we might need to get a little tissue paper ready for next episode. That's what I'm expecting from that. I hope I'm wrong, but I'm kind of expecting. I just hope he goes out in a proper blaze of glory and not kind of... If you're a fan of Star Trek: The Next Generation, what happened to Worf in season 1 and 2? A lot. A lot. Muscular badass alien with a cool backstory kept getting slammed and countered, essentially, for those who haven't seen Star Trek. Anyway, Star Trek's more in our video series. We're talking about Star Wars today, though. So, back to what's going on with Omega and Echo. Echo infiltrates more into the base. He knocks out, like I said earlier, Trooper, dons the Trooper armor, and I think this is the first episode we saw him finally use a prosthetic hand to actually cover his little screwdriver of a hand. As he's kind of hacking his way and sneaking around, he runs into the Professor, and the Professor that was under Nala Se. There's a conversation between the two where the Professor that was under Nala Se, that is now in charge of the main hold that Omega and the rest of the Power Rangers are in, the conversation goes something like, she recognizes Echo recognizes her from what Omega has told the Batch about her time being locked up there, and there's this moment between the two where the phrase, "Listen, I'm just doing my job," comes from the Professor. Again, hit the checkbox, hit the World War II checkbox nod list right there. And for those of you watching who have not studied specifically the Nuremberg trials, I would actually recommend, after this video, giving that a good little look up, because it is a fascinating history on just humanity in general that happened after World War II. But sorry, I'm messing with my hair again. I only bring that up because part of that trial, the phrase, "I'm just doing what I'm told, I'm just doing my job," was kind of a forefront of the argument of what the Allies were trying to figure out what to do in terms of judicial punishment to the Nazis. So, and because I dropped that line, I'm probably not going to get any monetization from YouTube. Hi YouTube monetization, by the way. Now, but back to Star Wars and a little bit less about history. The professor looks at Echo and says, "But if you want to save Omega, you have to do you're going to have to do what I say. That's the only chance you got. Also, if you want to save Omega and the other kids." Echo's like, "Wait a minute, other kids?" "Yeah." The professor says, "Yeah, no. Echo's not the only force sensitive that has been experimented on here." Because Echo told the professor, "Yeah, no, they're here to not only save Echo and the other clones." So, next episode, they are going to be trying a big prison break. Now let's go to Omega. During this time, when the other ships were kind of messing with the Bad Batch on their way on in, a security alarm kind of went off, and Omega heard the outside blasters going off on the rogue ship. So she saw it as an opportunity to kind of crawl around in between the walls and figure out what else is in the hold that they're on. And as she's crawling through the walls, ducking boxes that are going really very fast, and the boxes are about the size of her head, by the way. We're just going to assume that she saw all those coming in advance because she dodged every single one like a ninja. It was kind of cool. She finds that there is a Zillo Beast. Now, the Zillo Beast is a nod to a Clone Wars episode that happened where basically, spoiler warning, not spoiler warning. I mean, if you're watching this, you're probably not afraid if I spoil past Star Wars shows episodes too. There's kind of a Godzilla-esque episode in the 3D Clone Wars where there's a Force-sensitive giant creature that was discovered during one battle between the Republic and the Separatists, and the Republic decided, hey, giant Force-sensitive creature, let's study it, for science. They brought the Coruscant. Things did not go well for Coruscant. They got out of Coruscant, and pretty much up till now, we didn't know where it's been. So that's another little point I'm going to give this episode, just doing the whole callback to the Clone Wars episode, which is like, okay, that's kind of a good little pat on the back there. So when she gets back to the rest of the Power Rangers, which, by the way, she told the kids, oh yeah, so I'm going to do my little sneaky, I need all y'all to cover me. And of course the kids, okay, how do we do that? You'll figure out something. Great instructions, Echo, and Omega, and during which the kids, as they're getting their samples done, they try to stall the secondary professor, kind of taking their samples in simple ways they can. But she gets back to her cell in time to get the sample taken, and then at the end of the episode, we see Omega just casually sitting with the rest of her cellmates and saying to them, okay, I got a plan, and I'm going to need your help to do it. And then the episode ends. So kind of a predictable episode, to be completely honest. Cool little surprises here and there with the Zillo Beast and the bugbear creature. I'm still kind of expecting a hard backstab moment between the professors in charge of the kids. And what's probably going to happen next episode, well, the Batch are probably Echo is going to reach Omega first. And something's going to go wrong. Meanwhile, the rest of the Batch are running and probably gunning their way, or for some reason, this next episode, I think they're going to make the main baseline troopers actually smart and put up an actual fight to the rest of the Bad Batch trying to infiltrate into the base. That's what I'm kind of expecting for this next episode. Omega is probably going to break out via using some sort of shut-off distraction, or she's going to find a way to use the Zillo Beast to get them out of that whole situation, which it will be kind of cool seeing, but it will be kind of sad for them to kill off the Zillo Beast. Because, again, the Zillo Beast is the closest little Godzilla moment we've seen from the Star Wars series in a while. So hopefully they don't do that, but I'm kind of expecting that. I'm expecting Wrecker to not survive next episode, just from the heavy armor damage he got from the Bugbear, which is kind of annoying because, again, Wrecker is the closest thing we have to Republic Commando, and Wrecker is the Republic Commando at home. I'm expecting kind of a little join the dark side again with me, brother, and we can do this proper this time from the Admiral from Season 1, whose name is very forgettable, and Crosshair in the next episode or episode after that. He's going to choose the Batch and Omega over the Admiral. The Admiral is... I would be surprised if he's going to live after through these episodes. I'm expecting him to die, or I'm expecting him to get maimed pretty badly, or tortured pretty badly, or damaged pretty badly. He might have a redemption moment before his death, but if he does have a sudden epiphany moment, it will probably be when the whole plan the Batch and Omega have concocted has failed spectacularly, and I feel a little bit of goodness for some strange reason in my very badly designed beard. And now I decide I'm going to be the good guy and screw the Empire at this point. And sacrifice myself. That's what I'm kind of expecting from him. Also, I do apologize if I still look tired from the traveling. When you travel international, jet lag is a interesting beast to tackle through. Also, I do apologize if there's any background noise you're hearing from outside. It's the neighbors' kids are being neighbors' kids, so what could you do? Yeah, you itch your hair. That's what you could do about it. So, those are kind of my thoughts on this episode and what's probably going to happen next episode. My question to you all who've watched this far into the video, what do you think is going to happen next episode? Do you think I'm right? Do you think I'm wrong? Do you think everybody's going to survive somehow spectacularly? Or do you expect rocks fall, everybody but Omega, and the rest of the kids dies? You know? Let me know in the comments below, again, just to get that algorithm going to help your boy's channel on out. Like, share, subscribe if you did kind of like my thoughts and processes on this. By the way, a little teaser for what video I hope to do next Star Wars related. I was able to finish a Star Wars book I'm kind of excited to talk about during my Sweden trip. Hopefully I could make that little video tomorrow or maybe next week. So, give you a little tease on what our Star Wars stuff is coming down the pipeline. Yeah, so that's all my thoughts on this episode today. I hope next episode is good. I hope next episode could make the fans say, yes, okay, yes, this is Bad Batch, yes, alright. But if I'm wrong, well, I'll just be a little disappointed. If I'm wrong in the sense of they don't give us a good last hurrah with the Bad Batch, I'll be very disappointed and probably annoyed at the show. But if they give us a good last hurrah with the Bad Batch in these last couple of episodes, I'll be happy. Alright? I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Until next time, may the Force be with you.